Protect your family by installing a new wick in your kerosene heater. That will prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. Come along with me today and I will show you step by step how to install a new wick in your kerosene heater. Then your family will be safe and warm. I'm Becky. I used to live in the consumer rat race just like you. But one day I had enough, so I sold it all, moved to the country, and built my own log cabin with my own two hands. Now I spend my time discovering new ways to live a simple, healthy lifestyle with more free time and way less stress. Then sharing what I've learned with you. Welcome to Becky's Homestead. Today, I'm going to show you how to change the wick on a kerosene heater. We're going to take this all apart and we're going to take out the old wick and install the new wick and put this back together. It is so easy, and I recommend that you do this to keep your kerosene heater running safely for your family. We're going to remove all the screws. We're going to follow the diagram, remove the top covering and get to the wick. It looks like there's only 4 screws. Make sure you don't lose the screws though. Look, they're magnetic, they stick. And it all comes apart very easily. They've designed it well. Okay, so there's that. We're gonna set that aside. I'm taking the handle off, and you have to turn it and it fits through the hole. And then we're going to set that down. Now I'm going to remove the top guard. There's that. It all comes apart very, very easily. Okay, so now Scott's going to lift out the burner assembly because it's down in there and I can't reach it. There it is. Okay, so then the next step is to unscrew the 4 screws we did from the body.
I did that first by accident.
I did that first. Now we're going to lift it off, it says. There we go, and set that on the floor. Here you go. This is what's under all that. We've owned this heater for, what, 4 years maybe? And this is the first time we've ever changed the wick. So you don't have to do it too often, but you do have to know how to do it. It's important. So we're going to take the wick and we're going to take the knob off. So this is the body base. It just all comes apart so easy. And as you can see, it's going to be attached to the little fuel tank, this chain. So we're just going to set this over like this. Remove these wing nuts. There's 4 of them. That one's really tight. 1. They're a little tight, so I have to use the screwdriver. They're not just finger tight, they're a little tight. Now this last one is a little trickier to get to, but I can reach it. Okay, so we're going to lift this entire assembly out now. Here we go. Now that's sopping wet, so I don't know what we're going to put that on. There's a cardboard box right outside. You can see the kerosene dripping and it's very wet. Okay, so and slide, oh, see that? Pinch it in to the middle and fold it up, and then it slides, you can get it out. So the next step is we're going to put the new wick in. So you fold the wick like this. That's what I'm going to do, is fold the wick. You have to take note of the black line because that shows you how far up the wick goes. If you look in here closely, those are very sharp little teeth. So we're going to fold the wick and get it snagged on those little teeth, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to set this over like this. I'm not going to go past the black line. That's how far it's going to go. So the important part is you want the wick in properly, because I mean, this is the whole heater right here. And now I'm gonna open it. So the other half is in there. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm starting with this top row of teeth on this thing, and I'm pressing the wick into the teeth to make sure it gets a good grip. And I'm gonna, you can hear it click. I'll be quiet so you can hear that. Kind of gets in there, and you can see it's the black, I'm right up to the black line is right where it should be. So this part you have to be a little careful. And then you press it in there so those teeth hold it. So you gotta kind of go around and around and just press it on there as you go. Making sure your black line is right to the edge there. And you can see the black line's covered, but it's right to the black line, so that's fine. I'm just gonna go like that, around and around. Then I'm gonna go to the second row of teeth and make sure it's stuck on the second row of teeth. And you're gonna get dirty, as you can see, I'm getting really dirty. But you have to make sure the wick is on all the teeth. And you can hear when the teeth are digging into the material. Now I'm just gonna use 2 hands, and I'm gonna go around, and I'm just gonna press it and wiggle up and down just to make sure that wick is on there good. All right, so it seems the wick is attached, and just take your time and just go around and around and around until that wick base is attached on there really well. Now this is a dry wick, so obviously it looks a little different. There you go. Check this gasket right here. It's a black gasket, and make sure that's still in there and it's in good shape. The next step we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna turn it over, and we're gonna get the wick around this cylinder here. Nice and easy, pick it out. Fit it over there. We are gonna have to line up the holes, actually, so I'm gonna pull this back up and I'm gonna turn it. So it's already adjusting, the holes have to come down on these little things. So just to make it easy so you don't have to turn it when the wick's on, line the holes up before you lower it down. And then you can just like push it down. And then you can put your hand in there and push it in there. So what this is we're pushing it down here into the kerosene, because that's the kerosene tank where it's going to be absorbing. All right, so we're going to get that. Now I'm going to use my screwdriver very gently just to make sure I can get it all in there. A pencil, screwdriver, you know.
The thread hooked around the thing, yeah.
I'm getting it off there, so get it in there. It's got a long way to go. Okay, so now we're going to line the holes up to the little nuts, which I have it almost perfect. I just have to lower it in there. There you go. It slides back in there and sits down there tight. Okay, so we're gonna put the knob back on. That's the next step. So put that knob back on there. Push it in where it should be. Alrighty. So now what we're gonna do in this step is we're gonna check to see that we have the wick installed properly before we put the thing all together. So this step right here is really, really important to do, because you want to find out if it's working before you put it all together. Then it doesn't work and you have to take the whole thing apart again. So right here, what you do is you turn your knob and you see the wick coming up?
Yay!
It should come up smoothly. So what we're going to do next is we're going to put these wing nuts back on. We want these just snug, not tight. So we're just gonna spin them on there and give it like a half a turn just to keep it snug. So we just want this snug but not tight, so that's good enough. And then we're gonna do the last one over here. All right, here's an important step is you want to tighten the wing nuts, but you don't just crank the first one down, then the second, then the third, then the fourth. You have to turn a little, turn a little, turn a little, turn a little. And you don't want these super tight anyway. I don't tighten anything super tight. And that's why you go bit by bit and go around and around. That one seems tight. Okay, they're all tight. That's good. So we want to raise the wick. You want it 3/8 of an inch above that when it's all the way up. So this is a good way to check, is you just put a little ruler down and just go over. So about 3/8 of an inch. And you could just go like this around and just see. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but around 3/8 of an inch. You definitely don't want it sticking up 1/2 an inch. The stove is in the on position right here. We're going to turn it. So the stove is on the on position. And let's just say you're in the house and it gets tipped. So I'm literally going to tip it. But this is the part you need to watch. And this activates this shutoff switch and the wick will go down. So this is a safety feature, which is very nice. We're going to tip it. Do you see that? It totally worked. And so you want to make sure that works. We're going to put this back on there. Then we're going to put the knob back on. I love kerosene heaters. I'm a big fan of kerosene heaters. I just think they put out such good heat. They're simple, they're easy to repair, they're inexpensive to repair. They're just awesome. I can't say enough about them. Alrighty. There we go. Now I'm going to put the 4 screws back. We're almost done. That was so easy. And then to think how fabulous it's going to work. There we go. That was so simple. So easy.
That just sets in.
Okay. How you make sure this little thing is in the right spot is you wiggle it. There's a little track in there that it's on, and you can tell by turning it, it turns easy. Then if you light by hand like we do, you light the match, and I'll pretend the screwdriver's the match. You lift this up, and you just touch the match to the wick in there. And when you stick the match in there, you can see, because you can see where the wick is. And literally, you just go, barely touch it, it lights. It doesn't light like gasoline, but it lights nicely. You set that down, you always give it a little shake, and then you shut the little door. Fabulous. And I guess it just goes anywhere, huh? Yeah, like that, it just has a vent. This is very easy to put on. You just up, and then over and down. And then you just turn and just slide it so the handle can fit through this opening right here. Down. And it's kind of bendy and it just goes in there, and that one just got itself in there. So they're all in there properly. And then last but not least is the handle. The handle has these big long area to make sure it never falls out when you're moving it. So you just have to spread the handle. Let me get this side so I can get it to the right hole. Where is this handle side? Right there. So that went in there. Let me get my side in. It's kind of noisy. And mine has to tip to get through the 2 holes. And then you want to make sure it's on through both holes on this side, and it is. And there you go. Ta-da! All done. That was so easy. And kerosene heaters are so awesome. I highly recommend them. Now that it's all put together and we're all finished, don't forget, after you fill your tank back up, you have to wait 1 hour for the wick to become properly saturated before you start the kerosene heater.
Sign up for Becky's Homestead newsletter. Go to beckyshomestead.com and sign up on the right. You'll get articles, news, and specials from Becky every month. Unsubscribe anytime, no spam.
Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please email me and Doodles. Happy homesteading. Bye-bye. Protect your family by installing a new wick in your kerosene heater. That will prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. Come along with me today and I will show you step by step how to install a new wick in your kerosene heater. Then your family will be safe and warm. I'm Becky. I used to live in the consumer rat race just like you. But one day I had enough, so I sold it all, moved to the country, and built my own log cabin with my own 2 hands. Now I spend my time discovering new ways to live a simple, healthy lifestyle with more free time and way less stress. Then sharing what I've learned with you. Welcome to Becky's Homestead. Today, I'm going to show you how to change the wick on a kerosene heater. We're going to take this all apart and we're going to take out the old wick and install the new wick and put this back together. It is so easy, and I recommend that you do this to keep your kerosene heater running safely for your family. We're going to remove all the screws. We're going to follow the diagram.